prophet has commanded us to rule the world. Where in all your land of Spain is the glory of Allah? When men speak of you, they speak of poets, music makers, doctors, scientists. Where are your warriors? You dare call yourselves sons of the prophet? You have become women. Burn your books. Make warriors of your poets. Let your doctors invent new poisons for our arrows. Let your scientists invent new war machines. And then, kill. Burn. Infidels live on your frontiers. Encourage them to kill each other. And when they are weak and torn, I will sweep up from Africa. And thus the empire of the one God, the true God Allah, Allah is the one God, will spread. First, across Spain. Then, across Europe. Then, the whole world.
All right. Welcome to Tribulation 515, 2011. Today is Friday, January 9th, 2015. What you were just watching was a scene from the movie El Cid, starring Charlton Heston. It was first produced or released in 1961, the year before I was born. So as you can see, this stuff's been going on forever, man. You know, ever since the time of Christ, or, you know, shortly after Christ, you know, it's been, you know, the Islamic world trying to take over the world and kill the infidel. You know, this morning when I woke up, I turned on the news. 2 days ago, a bunch of jihadists, radical Islamists, went into a newspaper office in France and shot all the cartoonists. There's been a massive manhunt across France trying to catch these guys. They're still out there, and as of this morning, they have hostages. They're surrounded by 1,500 police, and there's even a third person, because this is a coordinated effort. It is not a random act of violence, as the president and other people who just are afraid, that do not want to mention the word radical Islam or a war against you know, Islamic forces. But if, you know, on Fox News they show you, if you look at the map, we're losing the war, man. They are taking over the world. So that guy in the movie El Cid means the Lord, and that was Charlton Heston who played El Cid, who was Spain's greatest knight. But you know, what made El Cid different is he kind of broke the mold. He thought outside the box, that he didn't let the normal mindset of mankind affect him. You know, he consistently showed mercy and friendship and stepped out of the mighty man box, you know, to show compassion, and it changed things. It made Moors, who were also Muslim, joined forces with the Christians to defeat the radicalized hordes coming out of Africa, all dressed in black. And even to this day, when you look at the terrorists there in France, they're all in black, man. You know? But we have reached, my friends, day 1335. Blessed is he that waiteth until the 1335th day. That is Daniel 12:12, one of the most prophetic books in the Bible. And I will tell you, my friends, we are neck deep in prophecy. You know, on the History Channel, they've been running a series, Revelation, End of Days, and it's amazing, man, because it's showing prophecy from the past, but it's filmed in kind of like real time. And I'll tell you what, you know, even if the series kind of sucks and, you know, isn't quite on point, the amount of people watching it and the amount of people thinking about the end of days has never been greater, my friends. And see, that's how things manifest, either by the finger of God or by our own minds. If you think of something, it will manifest. And collectively, if we as a society are all thinking the same thing, like, oh, it's the end of days, guess what? It probably is the end of days. So we're living in a time like never before, and you know, the one key component, just like in that movie El Cid, that guy Ben Yosef, I think that was the name of the radicalized Islamic killer out of Africa. You know, fear is the main motivational tool that they use. They want fear around the world, and it's working, man. You know, but you know, we got all sorts of crazy stuff going on. I'm gonna try and get through this. I only got 15 minutes. You know, over on Operation End Times, I'm going to be doing another part 8, I do believe, of my Builder series, and you don't want to miss it. I'm going to touch on a few things right here in this video, but I'll get a lot deeper. We always go into the deep end of the pool over on Operation End Times. If this is your first time to this video blog, this is my personal witness and testimony to the tribulation that is literally unfolding right in front of my very eyes. And, you know, it all started when the Spirit came upon me back on May 15th, 2011, and said, start a video blog, a day count of the tribulation. So here we are. You know, what's going to happen? Who knows, man? But you know what? The world is a dangerous place. The sun is going crazy. We got stars aligning all over the place. You know, before I forget about it, I'll just throw it out there, but there's a Comet Lovejoy that is currently coming through our solar system. It was discovered on August 17th. 2013, I do believe, but that's the 8 and the 17, and the 8s are in play, the 88s, the infinite possibilities. And the question is, whether you're going to be sucked into the fear, and what is going to manifest is darkness, shadow, and destructions, because the 88s leads that direction. But there's also the divine glory if you have the eyes to see and your sight is cast towards the heavens. There is miracles in the kingdom of God that's unfolding as well under the 88s. But anyway, Comet Lovejoy over on Operation End Times in the Builder series, I'm talking about right now. It's super important that you have legs to stand on, a firm foundation, and the foundation has to be Jesus Christ, and the legs are comfort and joy, or love and joy. And that was one of the themes of Christmas, is comfort and joy. But now the Comet Lovejoy is coming through. It's at a magnitude of 4.2. 42 is a godly number. It was on the 7th. It came closest to Earth. They said that this comet comes from the Oort cloud, and that it has an orbit of 11,000 years, but once it passes Earth, it's going to change to 8,000-year orbit. The 8's in play. It's going to reach perihelion either on the 30th of January or on Valentine's Day. I'm not quite sure. But on 1/17, and the 17s, the 22s, you'll kind of see they're connected up here. But Lovejoy has this huge tail. NASA doesn't seem to be covering this comet at all. Surprise, surprise. But on January 17th, Comet Lovejoy will be 8 degrees south by southwest of the Pelaides. Now, the Pelaides are a star system right there by Taurus, where the only way you can see it, if you look directly at it, you can't see it. So you got to kind of look off, and you can see it in the corner of your eye. All of a sudden it comes into view, which is interesting, because that's kind of how Lovejoy is. It's got this huge tail. It's bright. It can actually be seen by the naked eye or a pair of binoculars, but I think if you look directly at it, it's hard to see. So you got to kind of look off of it. So on the 17th, if you're looking at the Pelaides and you look off of it, you should not only see the Pelaides, but you should see Comet Lovejoy. And today, Comet Lovejoy breaks the celestial equator, because it's basically going straight up, perpendicular, and it can now be seen in the northern hemispheres, whereas before that it was harder to see because it was down in the southern hemispheres. But Daniel 12:12 is a interesting verse. It's one of the most prophetic, and we're not going to get too deep, but let me just pop back over there. But Daniel 12:12 starts off where it says, Daniel 12:1, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time, and at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. It is the end time, the day of the Lord. We are on the precipice. No, we are knocking, man. It's about to be opened up. So behold, hopefully your eyes are open to what's happening. But things to kind of point out is there's the synchronicity, the numbers are all lining up, and it's all showing that we are at the end of days, my friend. But Daniel 12:7, it says, when I heard the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river, when he held up his right hand and his left hand unto heaven, and swear by him that liveth forever, that it shall be for a time, times and a half, and when he shall have accomplished to scatter the power of the holy people, all these things shall be finished. Now that's a super interesting verse, because it's the phrase, and when he shall have accomplished to scatter the power of the holy people. You have to say, who are the holy people? But kala is the Hebrew word 36:15, which means to be finished, to complete, or to be prepared. And you know what? In the New Testament, John, Jesus, they constantly said, prepare the way. And I've done the series Mind Fast, preparing your mind, having legs to stand on, so you can tell what's real and what's not real. Because nowadays, what's real is getting harder, harder, and harder. And you know what? It ain't going to matter, because the world as we know it is going to be torn down. And that's what these Bible verses basically all point to. But finished, you'll find it in, over on Operation End Times, we're talking about the builder. The works of God. God created the heavens and the earth, versus the works of man, the stones that man erects, the systems that man erects that are not going to stand the test of time. But that word kala, H36:15, you find it in like Genesis 2:1 and 2:2, where it says God created the heavens and earth and then rested. He was finished. So it's that same word, kala. But also Genesis 17:22, there's that 17 again. It says God was talking with Abraham and then he went up. Also Genesis 18:33. The 18s, the 33s, the 22s. And then the word scatter, which is the Hebrew word H5310, which is nafatz, which means to break, to shatter. It's found 22 times in 17 verses. Once again, the 22s and the 17s. 22 is Jesus' number, the master architect, the builder of the reality that we see, the real reality, not the fake stuff that everybody thinks is real. The virtual reality shows on TV, fake. But nafatz means to break, to shatter. Noah's sons were scattered across the earth. Gideon, in Genesis 7:19, Gideon and his men, they shattered the vessels prior to killing all the enemies that were surrounding them. And then Psalms 2:9 and 137:9, where it says, happy is he when the vessels are shattered, which kind of mirrors the ending of Daniel 12:12 or 12:17, where it says, happy is he who reaches day 1335. And there's also a tie-in on this shattering, the breaking of vessels, to Jeremiah 51, which is a powerful chapter of the Bible, Jeremiah 51, 20 through 23, where all it talks about is shattering Babylon, the stones of Babylon falling. Jeremiah 51:30, it says, men became as women, which is remarkable, because in that film clip, you see Ben Yosef telling his own princes, he says, you're no longer men, you're women. And that's what it says right there in Jeremiah 51:30. Men became as women. And then all the prophecy that was written in Jeremiah 51, Jeremiah bound to a stone and dropped it in the Euphrates River. And that's where that man was standing at the beginning of Daniel 12:12, is the Euphrates River. But Jeremiah 51:17, it says, man is brutish in his knowledge. And that's what I've been, the point I've been trying to get across in the Builders series, is that, man, what we did is we got ahead of God, man, when we opened the book of knowledge of good and evil. We've been trying to do it without God showing us how to do it. So that's why no matter what we do, it's futile, man. It ain't going to last, and it heads towards destruction, because we're not mentally prepared to use the technology we have. And Jeremiah 51:22, it says it's going to break man and woman, both old and young. So everything as we know it, all reality as we know it, prepares to be shattered. All right. Hey, God bless you if you're watching this. May the peace of God that is beyond the understanding of mortal man be upon you. May love, Fill your heart, because you're going to need it like never before, my friends. God bless you all. This is Tribulation 515, 2011. We have reached day 1335. Bless all of you that have stayed with me for this journey, man, because I think what now lays in front of us in 2015 is going to eclipse everything that we have experienced thus far. All right, take care.